Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my fellow YouTubers, Facebookians. Welcome to another edition of Living Simply and Fun. I'm your host, Aries. This is Aaron. Aaron, would you take it away?
Yes, we're doing another cigar review here. This time it is the Rocky Patel Cargo, as you see there. It says over here, CA Railway Esteli, and here it says CA Airlines Managua, I guess. Now the interesting thing is there's a plane in the center here too. Cargo is usually by boat, and it's freight usually by train, and it's usually just a shipment by plane, but I guess it could be cargo as well on a plane, or freight, all depending. So it's kind of just, I don't know, kind of a unique band. I like the coloration of it. It's kind of a little, what do you call it, etched in, whatever. It's raised up on the surface. Now, this was, again, we're smoking it because we have it. Thanks to our friends over at Desert Smoke Review, who sent us 2 of these to sample. Now, the first thing I'm going to say here, though, is, again, a little history about it. The CA airline to Managua, which is the capital of Nicaragua. There's 6,826 flights a week leaving from California going there, with 421,800 available seats, according to faircompare.com. Then the cigar itself is what's called a Cuban sandwich. Now, if you don't know how a Cuban sandwich is, usually you get sliced ham with roast pork, Swiss cheese, pickles, mustard, Cuban bread, which has lard in it as part of how the bread's made. Otherwise, it's much like French bread. And, oh wait, wrong Cuban sandwich. Proper Cuban sandwich when it comes to cigars, if you don't know.
Just to bring up this, since he's talking about Cuban sandwiches, usually a Cuban sandwich has got mustard in it, too.
I just said that. You weren't listening. You're on your tablet.
I was thinking about the Cuban sandwiches you can buy from Schwann's for $8.
Yeah, well, you were on your tablet. So, I'm talking about a Cuban sandwich. Essentially, you got your wrapper. Then you put your wrapper down. Then you got your binder. And then you got long filler. And then you got laced kind of back and forth a medium and fine filler. And then the whole thing is basically rolled up to make a nice sandwich, basically, with the medium and fine fillers in the center, the long wrappers holding them in place, and so sometimes that ends up making for a very easy draw because of all the finer tobaccos in the center. But if you get some longer medium filler that's stuck together in a ball, basically, it can end up knotting up and causing some draw issues. So they're kind of hit and miss usually when you have a Cuban sandwich cigar. Now, as for the wrapper on this, I didn't get much of a smell off this. The foot was slightly earthy, and it was a very firm cigar, and I've heard a lot of people say that they're a very soft cigar. Your thoughts on pre-smoking?
Squishy, soft.
See, hers was squishy and soft.
Smelled like hay.
Yeah, you got your notes there. You said earthy.
Yeah, and earthy notes, yes.
Then, upon lighting it up, first thing I noticed is the absolute horrible draw. I could barely get a puff on it. I'm sitting there.
I had about a 70% horrible draw, and that was poker.
That was actually taking a pipe nail and shoving it through the center and everything, trying to open it up, and still, it was a very, very tight draw. I couldn't pick up many flavors at all in the first third because the draw was so difficult that by the time that my mouth kind of seemed to stop hurting from trying to draw, all the flavor was gone. And there was little to no finish. You have anything to add on the first third?
Yes. I only tasted cedar and earthy notes, pretty much. That's it for the first third. And lighting up was the same after smelling it. So, you know, that's what I picked up on. It was a sweet, simple cigar, but it had its drawbacks because of its draw. And mine started cracking after about a quarter way to 1/3. So
in the second
construction
half,
flaws, I should
the second
say.
half, mine started to pick up some leathery notes and some mild earthy tones. And somewhere about almost exactly 50% is when the draw opened up. And then I started to get some slight spice and a much better flavor to it. I didn't seem to have to be fighting the cigar to be able to get any flavor. What do you think on the second half?
In the second half, I tasted, I would say pepper, leatheriness, and cedar, and it was just very amazing. It's one of those cigars where people say it's mild, medium to full body, but to me it was a mild cigar, but it had a flavor that was just so great. However, it would be, again, as I think it was Monty who said it, it's a cigar you wouldn't want to recommend for a beginner. It's because of it's kind of semi-complex. I think it was Monty who said that.
No, I don't know if it's that complex, actually.
But I wouldn't recommend it for a new beginner, just starting out.
I wouldn't either, but I'll get to that. In the final third, it was more of the same flavors, mostly kind of a slight leathery flavor with a little bit of spice. It kind of picked up a little bit in strength, but it still just didn't gel to me. I wasn't too pleased, but I'll get back to that. And what do you think of the final bit?
Final bit was the same, but I also picked up a slight hint of vanilla flavor. But
I'll agree with that. That's about the only time I got any sweetness.
Cedar, a little sweetness, light pepperiness, but that was about it. Everything else was just a simple cigar, you know, with no problems, you know. And it was just really, really a tasty cigar. I would buy him again, but Aaron and I talked about it, and he said even with the Po' Boy sampler, the Patel edition,
which is new by CI.
Yeah, by CI.
You get 8 cargos in it.
And he said he wouldn't be happy with 8.
So, anyways, on to the final thoughts and our rating. As for a budget cigar, I'm only going to give this about a 6.0. And as for cigar overall, 3.0, I wouldn't buy it again. Even at $1 a stick, you know, there are cigars out there like the Quorum and the Schizo, and heck, for that matter, the Rocky Patel Mulligan. Many of the Holt cigars, house
by the Buzzard
blends,
Buzzard Banquet too.
Yeah, well, there's that, but
Angry Elf.
I'm just talking about
Dog.
I'm just talking about things like the Herf Dog, the Jalopy, etc., the Winthrop. They're all roughly $20-some a bundle. The Argyles, they have the Angry Elves. All of those are far better cigars. This is actually one of the worst kind of nice budget cigars. I've seen budget cigars that are horrible pieces of junk. At least they look it, but they smoke better than this in some cases. So, my opinion, the Rocky Patel Cargo is a big miss, and it seems like it's hit and miss with whoever tries it. I know that the one thing that Rita and me both had a problem with was major draw problems, in the fact that it was too tight. But other than that, you know, flavor it just wasn't complex to me. It never picked up anything that I sat there and said, whoa, and I really disliked that fighting with it so much just to even try to get a hit on it. Also, it needed quite a few construction touch-ups. Not anything major, just kind of make sure it doesn't start running here or leaving a foot-long hangnail off the side, you know. But that's all I got to say about it. I give it, as I said, about a 6.0 for budget and a 3.0 for overall. Your thoughts?
My thoughts is the construction had some problems. Now, I can't see myself going out and buying like a bundle of these. I mean, I could, but I couldn't. Thing is even though it tasted okay, the flavor was unique. It was one of those cigars, in my opinion, where you sit there and you say, is this cigar done yet? Because you'd want something more tasty. In my opinion, for a budget cigar, I give it a 6.0. That's not a problem there. What I don't give is the
The overall?
The overall, Aaron gave it a generous
3.
3.0. I give it a 2.0 because the flavor...
And geez, you seem to like it better, but you gave it a lower rating than me.
Gave it a lower rating because of the construction issues, plus the fact that mine started cracking, and...
that's partially our weather up here, though. It's very cold, and there's a lot of moisture in the air.
And other issues, but I also give it 2.0 because the flavors. I mean... Through the entire thing, it was basic, simple. I can't.
Cedar.
Yeah, pretty much with a little bit of hint of vanilla. So, how does that play out? How am I supposed to do a great review when?
I mean, just thinking of cigars with complex flavors, I think that burger in our Genti that we had, that thing kept changing and it had all sorts of wonderful.
Heck, I smoked complicated The Reckoning,
and that's only $3 a stick. This is like $2 a stick. From the way
I smoked The Reckoning, and The Reckoning is
well, that's like a $7 or $8 stick.
Yeah, but The Reckoning is like the most complex cigar all of them make. So technically,
as for cheap cigars, though, the Smoking Sandwich and there's one other Smoking Sandwich and the.
There's the Smoking Sandwich. There's the Winthrop. There's the Boardwalk. Those two, $20 a bundle, and they had a lot of flavors going in them. The Quorum has tons and tons of flavors. The Schizo lasts a long time and has tons of flavors in it. All those cigars are impressive to me. Even the Rocky Patel Mulligan's Caddy's Choice was better than this. So, I don't know. I think this was a real miss on a Rocky Patel. Because Rocky Patel's usually far better than this from what I've had. Exactly.
I've had quite a few budget Rocky Patels. And some that don't even have Rocky Patel's name in it. It's just budget made by Rocky Patel.
Just so you guys know, it's Drew Estate teamed up with Rocky Patel and they made... the Java Mint.
Which I still want to try the Java.
I'm supposed to get some next month. It'll be better financing.
But anyways, I think that's enough for this video.
There you have it. Please add and subscribe if you like.
And again, thank you very much for the cigar, even though it wasn't the greatest cigar.
Hold on. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Wyatt. And thank you, Monte.
Yes.
My hat's tipped off to you.
Even though these weren't great, we did enjoy them. It gave us a chance to relax and...
After bad news a while ago, so
we'll be getting into the final one you sent us maybe tonight. I don't know. We might want to save one for a day or two, but we'll see.
My hat's tipped off to you. So please add and subscribe if you like. Post comments, feedback, suggestions. Thank you. May God bless the world.